and welcome to the Help Desk. My name's Help Desk Mitch, and today we're going to go over some Excel basics. Today we're going to talk about how to make a graph, how to edit the graph to make it look presentable, some basic functions such as sum, average, and count, and also some cool little features of Excel that not a lot of people know about. As you can see here, I already have some sample data that I created here just to make the graphs. But as you can see here in column A, you can't really see what the title heading is, the header is. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up here between A and B and you're going to double click. And that's going to expand the column so that it includes everything that's typed in that first column, or the largest data field there. We're going to do the same thing between B and C here just to expand it so we can read it. This is so that you can keep your data organized. You can see what's doing what and what is where. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to create a graph. And the first and probably most important step to creating a graph is to tell it what data to pick. What you're going to want to do is you're going to highlight everything that you want in the graph. And I want sample number 1 and sample number 2. I want all of the data that's under those two columns. After I've highlighted it all, we're going to go to Insert. And right under here, under Charts, are all the different types of charts you can make. I'm only going to show you how to make a column chart today. But the four most common charts that I've come across would be a column chart, or a line chart, a pie chart, and a bar graph or chart. The other couple charts that they offer here are for more advanced things, and we're not really going to get into that today. We're just going to do a simple 2D column chart, and there it is. Simple as that. It shows you all of the data that I've selected, and it shows you in a picture format, I should say. On the right here, it shows you the key, blue being sample number 1, red being sample number 2. But what I notice is that it doesn't have any axis headings or any chart titles. So this is a very bland chart. It doesn't tell me what it's representing. So to change that, you're going to want to go into up here. There should be a green little tab called Chart Tools. Under Chart Tools, you're going to see Design, Layout, and Format. You're going to want to go into Design, and you're going to want to go into here under Chart Layouts. This right now, it only just shows you 3 different kinds. To show all the different options for updating a chart, you're going to want to click the More button. After you drop that down, it's just going to show you a bunch of different things you can pick. And what I've noticed from all the charts and graphs that I've ever made through my career is that you want to keep it simple. When you keep it simple, it's easy for you to read, it's easy for you to display what you're trying to talk about, and it's easier for people to read, which makes it easier to understand. So to keep it simple, we're just going to add the axis titles and the chart title. Now to edit those, you're just going to click it, highlight it, and title it. I'm just going to title this sample. I'm going to title my x-axis here, x-axis, and I'm going to title my y-axis here, y-axis. Again, this adds the title, the 2 axes, and it keeps the key right where it is, which is a good thing. Say for example you wanted to only display sample number 1s, but right now it's displaying sample number 1 and sample number 2. To fix that problem, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the chart. If you notice over here in the data, there's a blue box surrounding the numbers that I entered in. To change only so that you can only see sample number 1, you're going to drag that blue box over so that it's only highlighting this first area. And what it's going to do is it's going to update your data automatically. That's a very, very cool feature of Excel, is that you don't have to keep remaking your graphs over and over again. Again, like say I didn't like the number 4, I want it to be 5 instead, or let's make it 12 to show a big difference. Number 4 over here is going to be the 4th one in, which is going to be this one right here, number 4 on the chart. When I hit enter from this, in this row, it's going to shoot that up to 12. It's going to, again, automatically update it, which makes it very easy to update and change your data as you go, say if you make a mistake or so on. But now I only want to show sample number 2. We're going to drag it from the opposite side, do the same exact thing, and there you go. It's going to show sample number 2's data. It's going to count up by 2's all the way up. But what if you forget data? What if you accidentally had stuff down here that you forgot to include in your chart, and you type it in here and it doesn't come up? It just, when you hit enter, it just doesn't do anything. Nothing changes, it stays the same. What you have to do to fix that is that you have to drag the blue box down around it again. See how it automatically updates it as soon as you change that? So that's some graph basics. That's the easiest way to make a graph. Again, in my advanced Excel video, which is going to be coming in a few weeks, I'm going to try to do some basics for each major type of Microsoft products, such as Word, Access, PowerPoint, Publisher, stuff like that. Um, but today I'm going to finish off by showing you some basic math functions that Excel gives us, and I'm going to show you some cool little features. So I'm going to delete the graph here, and we're just going to have our data there. Sample data number 1. We're going to take the sample data and say you want to add it up. Say you want to know what the entire sum of this column would be. What you're going to do is you're going to highlight everything, and you're going to come up to here to auto sum. Right to the right of that is a little arrow. You're going to click the drop down arrow, and you're going to have sum, average, count, max, and min, and a little button that says more functions. More functions is going to lead to some more advanced calculus, physics, equations, and functions you can use, such as the cosine, stuff like that. Stuff that I'm going to get into more, like I said, into my advanced Excel video. But for today, we're just going to sum up the entire column of sample number 1. So you're just going to click sum, and at the bottom of that data, it's going to add up everything you have and put it in its own separate cell right here below your data. And that's the sum. Another way to do the sum is to see up here how it typed it in. Equals sum A18 semicolon A28. What that does is that adds up. That is the equivalent of this. Highlighting is the same as typing sum is the same as typing up here in the function bar here, which is this here. But to keep it simple, we're just going to highlight, and we're just going to click auto sum, and it's going to do it for us. Now I'm going to show you how to do the average, which is pretty much the same concept, which is to highlight the entire data set you want, come up to auto sum, and click average. Again, that's going to give you the average of the entire column you're in, and it's going to display it at the very bottom of the column. This can be very useful when you're dealing with very scientific data, such as an experiment or whatnot. Or if you're in a math class and you want to do some quick calculations from a graph without really having to use a calculator. This will do it automatically for you without using a pen and paper. Now, since I showed you some basic functions of Excel, some basic math functions such as the sum and average, what we're going to do is we're just going to delete all of this data right here. And I'm going to show you how to count in Excel without having to type in each individual number. So instead of typing 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter, 4, enter, 5, enter, and so on, what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the top here, and we're going to type 1 and then 2. We're going to only enter 2 different things here. We're going to highlight it. This shows us that it's going to want to count by 1. It's going to want to add 1 to the number in each cell. And to do that, say we want to count to 15. Instead of typing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on, what you're going to do is you're going to highlight everything, and you're going to see this little black box down here in the corner, the bottom right-hand corner of what you highlighted. You're going to wait until you see a little black plus sign like I have there. You're going to want to click and drag all the way to 15, and it counts for you. Instead of having to enter all that data repeatedly over and over again, you can just do it like that. Same thing goes if this way, like say if I wanted to count across the top, and I wanted to have it labeled 1 to 15 here, and I wanted to have it labeled like 1 to whatever over here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to highlight again everything in that row, grab the little black box in the corner, and drag it all the way over to 15. That's going to label the top and the left. Simple, right? Another cool function that I've noticed with Excel is that it will and it will duplicate data over and over again. So say if I have text in front of it this time and I say house number 1 and the second one is house, see how it says here it comes up with the highlighted number 1? I can just click forward and it's going to do it for me. But again, that's only if you have a lot of multiple data elements. But since I only want that, I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to make it count for me. What it's going to do is it's going to do just like I did before, except it's going to keep the text and it's going to keep the number sign the same without changing it. Another cool little feature would be that it can duplicate data without having to type one. Like say if I want to type 1 over and over again. Instead of doing that, which seems like it relatively quick, all I have to do is type it once, grab that little grab box, and drag it as far as I need to. I'm just going to drag it to 10 this time, and it's going to duplicate 1 10 times. This has some pretty good uses for it. Say if you have multiple data sets that have the same name or are equivalent, stuff like that. That I'll get into in a later video. But that's all the Excel that I have for you today. It's very basic. If you have any questions, again, I have a Facebook. Remember to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. It helps to know that I have a response, that I am helping. I have a Facebook and a Twitter. Again, find me on there, ask me questions, talk with me. I'll answer any questions you give me. And thank you for using the help desk, and have a good day.